Well, hello there, everybody. I'm back on here with another video. So, what I'm going to talk about today, being a freelance designer. I have been doing this for a while, actually. Like, I did this in college. I wouldn't have called it freelance. And, that word, freelance, has a bunch of, stigmas against it. And we can talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that right now. Basically, people don't really take freelancers serious. So you should call yourself maybe like an independent contractor or independent designer. I can link some videos below from this YouTube channel called The Future. They have a bunch of videos about what it means to own your own business and like be an independent freelance whatever designer and all that. I got a lot of tips from them starting out post grad. This is a tough topic. There's a lot to cover, and I'm flying off the dome because I don't like scripts. So I'm gonna try and break it down as best I can. What for me, what it's like being a freelance designer, and like maybe if you're thinking about doing it, I can give you some tips or my outlook on it. So, freelance designer in college versus out of college. In college, I was just doing it for fun. I was doing it to help friends with their like small business ventures if they're in the business school, or just to gain experience. Helping my friend, I helped my friend with a web series with a business, and then I got a graphic design internship at an art center, and that's where I really got a lot of experience with my graphic design. Like, I don't know if you know, but I went to go for interior design, and I just wound up teaching myself graphics while I was helping people, and you have to have good presentation skills as an interior designer, so I learned that way too. So in college, it was just for fun. It was like no big deal. Um, yeah, and I did get a good amount of money every now and then for it, though. I appreciated that money, but being a freelance independent designer post grad, it's been different. I've actually I've really switched how I do things. So there's no glare on my glasses. Switched how I do things. It's more towards like owning your own business in a way now, and it's really important to brand yourself and know what you're putting out there and making sure people know what you can do. So in college, I had a website, but it wasn't that great because I was still new at it. But then graduating college, I really had to beef up my website. I really had to like have have my best stuff on display and have great business cards. I always had business cards in college too. It's been a progression for me. I think I've had like 4 different websites, 4 different business cards. I really like branding. That's kind of my thing. I do logos, business cards, brochures, things like that. But I also do like fun stuff. I have this house flat graphic series. I do community art projects where I like do art that's based on social justice topics and stuff like that. I like the creative side of obviously I like the creative side of graphic design, but also how it can relate to the real world because I have my rant through my art series too, which I don't have up on the internet anymore. But I have a video on my YouTube channel. Just scroll down. I rant with my art. It's there. And I'll put it in the description. But yeah, so okay, post grad, I got some good. Well, first, the biggest thing about freelancing is networking. You have to get people to know who you are and tell them what you do and give out your business card and like be a little bit shameless about your work and tell people you're great and they should hire you. And that's easy sometimes, but it's also hard when you're talking to strangers. I've done a bunch of different networking events and I've gone to conferences. I made my college pay for conferences before I graduated that I could go on after graduation so I could start networking. Went to a graphic design conference, an energy efficiency conference, and a Black Interior Designers conference. And with that Black Interior Designers conference, I actually was able to network with somebody. I wound up winning like $500 from one of the design showrooms, but I couldn't spend that. I didn't have that money. I didn't have any clients, and so I gave it to someone. And then like 2 months later, I got a client from her. She referred somebody to me, and so that's how you network. Like kind of you give it to somebody and they'll give back to you, and you know that's kind of just how it works. And that client was a really big client for me. And at the time, I was working with Habitat for Humanity, do it through AmeriCorps. Wasn't really making a lot of money, so that client came in handy. Being a freelance, you really learn how to deal with people and how people are, they are difficult to work with. One, you have to have your stuff together. You have to have, in addition to like branding yourself and making sure your prices are intact, you have to have a contract, and they have to understand the contract. You have to make sure they read the contract and they know what they're paying for. And just communication at all times and making sure you're getting the most for the work that you are doing. Most of the time, people don't want to pay how much design is actually worth because they don't see the work being done. They don't know how many hours it takes put into anything. Like, I can do a logo in 2 hours, or I can do it in 10 hours. It depends on how great of quality you want that logo to be, okay? That's pretty much what it depends on. People don't really get that. So, yeah, you have to have your stuff together. You need to know how to talk to people. You can't be afraid to negotiate pricing and money, and you're owning your own business, which is why I don't understand why freelance is such like an underestimated word, because freelance, independent, small business owner, any of that stuff, you're dealing with money, contracts, people, all that. You're legit. You are a small working business regardless of what you call yourself. After that it was a logo branding project last fall. I was working with community movement builders, and I was just helping them with their logos. And I was like, "Ooh, you guys need your house painted? I'll do it. My roommate can help me." And I painted a whole house with my roommate, and that was really awesome. Like, I would consider that interior design related because I did the paint selection, and we just went at it. We painted the whole house. 2 women. We even did the staircase. We didn't get to do the top of the staircase, which I'm really sad about. Like the ceiling, we're a little too short. But I'm so proud of us because we knocked it out and it looks good. If you want to see pictures of that, it's on my Behance along with the website. I helped edit and then the logos and all that stuff. Yeah. And so I did eventually quit working with Habitat for Humanity. Watch my Habitat for Humanity video if you want to know how that whole experience was, because nonprofits are awesome, especially ones that help people get to, take steps to progress themselves in life. And yeah, anyway, so after I quit Habitat, it was really hard for me to find a job. I worked at a nail salon for a month and it didn't work out. It's actually really fun, but I can't take horrible bosses. If you're gonna be a bad boss to me, I don't have time for you. I don't need no horrible bosses. So I quit that and I founded the Creative Group. It's through Robert Half. Robert Half is an employment agency. They get jobs for people that are in finance and all that stuff. But they also have the Creative Group, which is for creative professionals. I hate being called a creative professional. It makes it seem like I'm different. And I'm like, I'm not that different. I just do my work with more color. So I found them, and that's where I started getting bigger projects with bigger companies. And the first project I was working with a home builder, and I was just doing, being a graphic designer, I work mainly in marketing. Branding is marketing, making brochures is part of marketing. Graphic design marketing, they go hand in hand. And I was a marketing specialist for the art center that I worked with. So I didn't really think about this when I was going to school because I was in interior design. Interior design is not, it's a portion of marketing, but it's not marketing. But I'm really glad that I found graphic design because I have no idea what I would be doing right now if I didn't. Probably being in residence life. That's a different video. So I've been working in the marketing department with them and still finding my own little projects here and there. And it's been cool. But now let's talk about the cons of freelance. And I'm really sorry that this isn't organized. I'm an organized person and I should have bullet points on all this stuff, but YouTube is kind of an outlet for me. It's not meant to be work. I don't want YouTube to feel like work because work is constant when you're owning your own. You're always trying to make sure you got enough money to pay your bills and got to find clients and all that stuff. Work is never ending. You work 24 hours a day, almost. Or at least I do because my brain is always working. So I'm sorry this isn't organized. Work with me. I hope you're still watching. 10 minutes in, I guarantee you I'll be done soon. Give me 15 minutes tops, okay? Anyway, okay. Okay. What was it? The cons of freelancing. There are no benefits associated with it. You don't get health insurance. You don't get a 401k. It's up to you to save your own money for retirement. It's up to you to pay for your own glasses. I didn't pay. Yeah, I paid for these. Wow, I didn't even think about that. This was in college, and I was like paying for my own. Anyway, so yeah, you like checkups and stuff. You have to pay for all of your health bills. That can get hard, especially if you like something happens to you. If you like break your leg one day, you gotta pay for that, and that could get pricey. Like I have asthma, and so it really sucks because I had to pay for my asthma medicine. Now it was not cheap at all. I'm still paying on it. So that's the biggest, I think, con of being a freelance designer. But if you're good at what you do and you can find clients, then you're good. You can afford it. I'm just not there yet. Freelance is hard. It is really hard finding clients. I think that's my biggest struggle. And you can subsidize. I don't know if that's the right word, but you can offset costs by getting a part-time job, by doing like Uber and DoorDasher and things like that. And also like doing YouTube. You can get affiliates and you can do sponsored videos and stuff like that. And that's what I kind of want to get towards to doing. I'm still trying to do the research. It's a lot of work. Also, freelancing is teaching yourself so much. And I'm like, I think that's life in general. We're constantly teaching ourselves how to do everything. But if a client wants something done and you don't know how to do it, you either lose that client or teach yourself how to do it and get it done. And you're your biggest teacher. You're your only teacher. You're just constantly learning, constantly cracking the whip in your brain. Especially with like starting your own business, you have to teach yourself all of that if you didn't go to school for business. I didn't go to school for business. I was heavily involved in the entrepreneurship scene, but I still had to teach myself everything. And a part of that, now, since I'm freelance, I'm gonna have to learn how to do my own taxes, and I also do DoorDash. It's like a delivery service, and that's independent contracting too. So I'm gonna have to do my own taxes come February. It's not gonna be fun. I probably won't get anything back for the first time in my life. That's gonna suck. And I have not made a lot of money this year. It's been very relaxing and rewarding, being on my own, but it's been very hard. I have my own everything. I even like own my car. I don't pay on it. And I have my own apartment and things like that. I'm a bit stable, but freelance work is extremely inconsistent. If you get one job and that job lasts 3 months, you need to make sure that they're paying you enough to sustain you those 3 months and months after that, because you don't know if you're going to get a job a month, 2, 3 months after that. You have to be a financial planner. You have to plan your stuff to a T, or else you risk not having money for your rent, not having money for your phone bill, or all that adult stuff that we never want to talk about or deal with. So I enjoy it, but it is extremely difficult. And people say entrepreneurs are crazy. Yes, they are, but they're only crazy because they're trying to teach themselves. Because they have taught themselves to do something that we're not really raised to do, which is fend for ourselves and not depend on the government to like give us money or give us insurance and all that stuff. We're not depending on anybody to do this for us. We're just doing it for ourselves. That's not crazy. I mean, it's crazy because that's not what our government tells us to do. It's not what society tells us to do. But it's crazy because it's hard. It is hard. Whew. But it is very, I have a lot of free time. But it also messes up my sleep schedule. So, pros and cons. I don't know. So I hope everything that I said helped you figure out if you would want to do it, if it's right for you, or, how you would finagle this. Because I'm still trying to finagle this. It's an interesting venture. It's at 15 minutes, and so I'm done with this. I'll see you in the next video. Like it if you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.